Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here on how to blend these colors. So I want you to watch this. We're going to use complementary colors. I've already done this one. I added purple and then yellow over it, and then this one was red, and I used the green for the dark areas, and this one's blue, and I used orange for the dark areas. And this one's purple, so I used yellow. So now I'm gonna make this one green, and I'm gonna use red. So let me, and I like to start out by doing a light red first. So I'm gonna come along this edge, and I'm just lightly. Another thing about when you're coloring with colored pencils, and the whole idea is to make this look three-dimensional, like it's a rounded object. So I am not going to color, let me show you like this. I am not going to color like this to where you see lines going back and forth, because then that will automatically make it flat. So I'm going to take, you're going to see my pencil, I'm going to do little areas, and then you're not going to see the pencil lines. That's what we don't want, because I want this to look three-dimensional. So I'm going to take some red here first. I'm just going to add some red right in here. I don't want to be too dark, because I want that red and green to blend together so it looks like a shadowed area, a little bit shading, which gives it that three-dimensional look, that three-dimensional appearance. And I can always go over that red again. It's always easy whenever you're coloring, whether it be with paint or whether it be with color, with crayons or with colored pencils. It's easier to go darker than it is to go lighter. And I think by now you've probably discovered, as you've been working with colored pencils, that it's hard to erase a colored pencil. So if I put this colored pencil right here and I want to erase that, it just doesn't erase very good. It's still there. So I think by now you've probably discovered that as you're working with colored pencils. So you want to make sure you know that you want to lay that color down before you color it. Now see how I'm making like almost little circles as I'm coloring back and forth. And you're going to see that appearance when I'm done here. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going over all the red, and as you see, it doesn't look red anymore. Almost a brown. So when you mix, when you blend complementary colors, you get a brown. And depending on which complementary colors is how brown it looks. So see, this brown looks different than this brown, but they both look kind of brown. So this is what I'm trying to teach you, how to blend colored pencils. Give it a three-dimensional look. And I'm also going to work on the pressure with my pencil. So my green, I'm going to maybe press harder here, but as I come around, I'm going to get lighter, which means I'm not going to lay that pencil down on the paper as hard. So I'm letting up the pressure as I come in here. So I want that to look like there's a light shining on it. And then that makes that object look three-dimensional. like I said, you can always go darker. So once I've laid that out and I went lighter there, now I'm going to make this side darker again. I'm going to make this darker. So I still want to go dark to light. So I'm going to come over here. And there. And notice how as I'm coloring, I'm also following that contour of a rounded object. See how I'm just kind of going back and forth? Coming up here, and then I'm coming down here. Always thinking of that contour. Okay, there. Now another thing I decided to do to the little tops, I colored those with that complementary color. So this was yellow, and that's purple, and the red and green. So I'm gonna do that right here. I'm gonna add the yellow right here. And then just so it looks three-dimensional as well, I'm gonna come up here on the corner of this, over here just on this side, because that's the darker side. Just gonna add a little bit of yellow to that. Gonna add a little bit of green to this one. I mean red to the green. Said that backwards, didn't I? Just so I got a little that, maybe even down here. And then add some purple to this yellow right here. And I still need to do it to the blue. So I'm going to add the orange up here. And now you don't have to do the tops like this. If you wanted to just leave the tops as they were, or use a pencil and just do a pencil top, you could. I'm doing it that way. And okay, so the green is red. So I'm gonna make this one red. And then I'll add the green right here. Yeah. I think add a little bit more red in here. All right, so now I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to add a little blue over here. That blue. Okay, now the orange. So now I'm going to go darker with the orange. So more pressure with the orange pencil. So the area will look brown because the orange on top of the blue makes it brown. See, and you could see I was darker with the blue right here, and then I took the pressure off and got a little bit lighter blue. So it made a difference on how that appears too. Now I don't like the way that transitioned. It seems just, it's too, I want a smoother transition. So I'm gonna go back over that with some more blue. I'm gonna make this darker. Remember, it's easier to go darker than it is to go lighter. Always remember that. So you'll hear me say that when we're mixing paint and everything. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here. It's more blue because I just didn't like that transition. Blue. Hit the orange right there. Yeah. Now, one more thing I want to show you is, I don't know if you could tell the difference in the texture between that one and the blue, but what I did was I went over that with white. So look closely at this. In fact, I'm going to bring it up. Look closely. Oops, I'm trying to get it in the camera just right, and I'm not very good at this, am I? There we go. Look closely. I'm sorry. Trying to get it in the camera just right. Okay, so look closely at the texture of that orange right now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my white color pencil, and I'm going to go over it. I'm going to start here in the center, and I'm going to work my way out. Now watch the way the texture changes when I do this. You don't have to do this, but I want to show you how that looks. It just gives it a different texture on the paper, and it makes it look smoother. Makes that color pencil look smoother. It blends. The white is blending in with the colors, and it makes them a little bit lighter, but it just makes them, makes it, like I said, smoother, almost like a waxy appearance, more of a waxy, which color pencils are waxy. But I think for when you're doing Christmas ornaments, it's kind of nice because, you know, Christmas ornaments are shiny, so it gives it more of a, almost a shiny appearance. So now I'm going to take this up to the camera so you can see the difference, and hopefully you can see the difference between the texture between these two. This one doesn't have the white, this one does. And see if you can see the difference in the textures. If I can get this right in the camera, trying to figure out where that camera is. It's my cell phone, the camera's my cell phone. Let's see there. And come over here and bring it down so you can see that. So I don't know if you can tell the difference. There's a little difference in the texture between that green one and that orange one. Now you don't have to use the white, or you can use the white on all of them. It's up to you. But there is that.